Have you ever felt like your kindness, instead of earning respect, becomes a green light for others to take advantage of you? You extend your hand, offer your trust, and give without hesitation, only to be met with disregard and disrespect. It's like reaching out to steady someone on a shaky bridge, believing you're helping, only for them to shove you into the river without a second thought. It's like feeding a stray dog, hoping it'll show gratitude, but instead, it keeps coming back with a pack, demanding more. And when you stop feeding them, they growl as if you're the one who's wrong. But here's the thing, it's not kindness that's the problem, it's the lack of boundaries. Stoicism teaches us that kindness without wisdom can lead to exploitation. When rooted in strength and clarity, however, it becomes an unshakable virtue that no one can misuse. In this video, we'll uncover why kindness sometimes leads to disrespect and how Stoic wisdom can teach you to stay kind while protecting your dignity. Trust me, what we uncover today might just change the way you approach the world forever. So grab a seat, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. If you find this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on the path to mastering Stoic wisdom. Number 1, kindness is seen as weakness. Imagine standing in a field holding a rose. Its petals are soft, its fragrance calming. To you, it represents beauty and peace. But to someone with thorns in their heart, your rose is nothing more than a fragile flower, easy to crush. Kindness, in a similar way, is often misunderstood. While you may see it as a strength, a virtue, some people perceive it as weakness. They mistake your gentleness for a lack of confidence and your generosity for submission. Here's the uncomfortable truth: not everyone values kindness. To some, it's a sign that you're easily manipulated, that you lack the courage to stand up for yourself. These individuals don't see kindness as a deliberate choice. It's viewed as a default for the weak, and when you encounter people like this, your kindness can unintentionally open the door for disrespect. Let me tell you about Aisha. She worked in a competitive corporate environment and believed strongly in treating everyone with kindness and respect. She'd often help her colleagues, go out of her way to support others, and never raised her voice, even when she was treated unfairly. But over time, she noticed something unsettling. Her co-workers began to take her for granted. They'd dump extra work on her desk, speak to her in condescending tones, and assume she'd always say yes. Aisha's kindness wasn't the problem, her lack of boundaries was. In trying to be kind to everyone, she had unknowingly sent a message that she could be pushed around. Some of her colleagues mistook her compassion for weakness, using her as a stepping stone to their own goals. This is where Stoic philosophy provides guidance. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Kindness, when practiced without self-awareness, can sometimes blur the lines between strength and submission. True kindness comes from a place of confidence, not from a need to please others. When your actions stem from inner strength, they carry a different energy, one that commands respect, not pity. Think of a river. It's gentle as it flows, nourishing everything in its path. But beneath its surface lies a powerful current. If someone underestimates its depth and tries to cross without caution, they'll soon learn the strength that lies beneath. Your kindness should be like that river, soft on the surface, but grounded in unwavering strength. So how do you ensure your kindness isn't mistaken for weakness? Set boundaries. Without guilt, being kind doesn't mean saying yes to everything. Protect your time, energy, and values by setting clear limits. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Be assertive when needed. Kindness isn't about avoiding conflict. Speak up when necessary, but do so calmly and confidently. Assertiveness paired with kindness earns respect. Stay true to your values. Let your kindness stem from your inner principles, not from a desire to be liked. People may still misunderstand you, but your actions will carry the weight of authenticity. Recognize opportunists. Some people will try to exploit your kindness. Stay vigilant and don't hesitate to withdraw your generosity from those who repeatedly take advantage. As Epictetus teaches, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. Your kindness should be an adornment of your strength, not a mask for fear or insecurity. When you practice kindness from a place of inner power, it's no longer an invitation for disrespect. It becomes a reminder of your resilience and self-respect. And as Jesus said, do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Your kindness is a pearl, precious and valuable, and it deserves to be shared with those who appreciate its worth, not those who see it as an opportunity to exploit. If Jesus' words inspired you, give this video a like to let us know it resonated with you. So the next time someone mistakes your kindness for weakness, let your actions remind them. A rose may be soft, but its thorns are sharp. True kindness isn't fragile. It's rooted in strength, self-respect, and unwavering integrity. Number 2, kindness encourages exploitation. Imagine a golden key left unattended on a table, gleaming in the sunlight. To an honest person, it's simply a key, a symbol of trust. But to someone with ill intentions, it's an invitation, an opportunity to unlock doors they were never meant to enter. Kindness, much like that key, is a beautiful virtue, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a tool for exploitation. Here's the harsh reality. Not everyone sees kindness as a strength. To toxic individuals, your kindness can appear as vulnerability, a chance to take advantage of your generosity. They see your willingness to help, your tendency to forgive, and your open heart not as virtues, but as weaknesses they can manipulate to serve their own interests. Let me share the story of Layla, a talented event planner with a heart as big as her dreams. Layla was known for going the extra mile, working late hours, helping colleagues with tasks outside her job description, and never saying no to anyone who needed her assistance. But instead of being appreciated, her efforts became expected. Her co-workers began offloading their responsibilities onto her, knowing she wouldn't push back. One day, a colleague took credit for a project Layla had worked tirelessly on. When she confronted him, he shrugged and said, "You're always so nice. I figured you wouldn't mind." Layla realized in that moment that her kindness, left unchecked, had created a feast for exploitation. Her generosity, once a strength, had been twisted into an opportunity for others to take advantage of her. This is where Stoicism provides clarity. Seneca, a philosopher deeply attuned to human nature, warned, "Generosity unguarded becomes a feast for the wicked." Kindness without boundaries is like an open door. It invites the wrong kind of guests. To protect yourself from exploitation, your kindness must be paired with wisdom, discernment, and the courage to say no when necessary. Think of a castle. Its gates are not left open for everyone to wander in. Guards stand watch, ensuring that only those with good intentions are allowed entry. Your kindness should be like that castle, strong, welcoming to the deserving, but always protected. When you set boundaries, you're not being unkind. You're safeguarding your generosity from those who would misuse it. Here's how to ensure your kindness doesn't become a tool for exploitation. Be selective with your generosity. Not everyone deserves your time, energy, or help. Share your kindness with those who appreciate it, not those who take it for granted. Recognize red flags. Toxic individuals often show patterns of manipulation. Pay attention to their actions. Are they always asking but never giving? Learn to say no. Saying no doesn't make you unkind, it makes you wise. Protect your resources and energy by setting firm limits. Balance, compassion, with discernment. Kindness should never blind you to reality. Be compassionate, but also aware of who truly values your efforts. Epictetus reminds us, attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. This means aligning your kindness with your values, not with the expectations of others. True strength lies in practicing kindness with intention and balance, ensuring that it serves both you and those who genuinely deserve it. And as Jesus said, do not give dogs what is holy. Do not throw your pearls before swine, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you. Your kindness is a pearl, a treasure that should be shared wisely with those who will honor its value, not exploit it. So, the next time someone tries to misuse your kindness, remember, you are the guardian of your own generosity. Let your kindness flow like a river, but guide its path with wisdom and self-respect. In doing so, you protect its beauty and ensure that it remains a true source of strength, not a gateway for exploitation. Let us know if Jesus' message touched your heart. Like this video and comment "I love Jesus" to share the inspiration. Number 3, kindness lacks boundaries. Picture a pitcher of water being poured endlessly into a cup. At first, the water fills the cup, quenching its thirst. But as the pouring continues, the cup overflows and the water spills onto the ground, wasted. Kindness without boundaries works the same way. When you keep giving without limits, people stop appreciating your efforts and start expecting them. Your generosity, instead of being cherished, becomes a routine they feel entitled to. Here's the hard truth. Kindness without boundaries doesn't just exhaust you, it changes how others see you. When you always say yes, when you never push back, people stop seeing your kindness as a gift. It becomes an obligation in their eyes, something they feel they deserve, rather than something you've chosen to give. Let me tell you about Mary. She was the go-to person in her church and community, always ready to help, always putting others before herself. If someone needed her time, she gave it. If someone needed her resources, she offered them without hesitation. But over time, Mary noticed something troubling. Instead of appreciating her efforts, people started demanding them. Her family would assume she'd rearrange her schedule for them. Her church members would assign her extra responsibilities, saying, "You're so reliable, you won't mind, right?" And the more Mary gave, the more they expected. One day, when she finally said, "I can't help this time," she was met with frustration and disappointment. Her kindness had unintentionally created a cycle of entitlement. This is where Stoicism provides guidance. Epictetus, a philosopher who deeply understood human behavior, wisely said, "The wise give, but not beyond reason or respect for themselves." True kindness doesn't mean sacrificing yourself for others. It means giving within reason, ensuring that your generosity is balanced with self-respect. Think of a garden. If you don't set up a fence, animals will trample through it, taking and destroying what they please. But when you put up boundaries, the garden thrives. Your kindness is like that garden. Without boundaries, it can be overrun. But when you protect it with limits, it becomes a source of beauty and nourishment, not just for others, but for yourself too. Here's how to ensure your kindness is balanced and respected. Define your limits. Ask yourself, how much can I give without feeling drained? Respect these limits and don't let guilt push you to overextend. Communicate boundaries clearly. If someone asks too much of you, say, "I'd love to help, but I can't right now." Being kind doesn't mean saying yes to everything. Recognize patterns of entitlement. Notice when people start expecting your help rather than appreciating it. This is a sign that boundaries need to be reinforced. Prioritize your well-being. Kindness starts with being kind to yourself. Protect your energy so you can give from a place of abundance, not exhaustion. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Setting boundaries is an act of mental strength. It's recognizing that your worth isn't tied to how much you give to others. It's tied to how you respect yourself while giving. And as Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. This isn't a call to self-sacrifice. It's a reminder that love and kindness must include yourself. If you neglect your own needs, you cannot truly give to others in a healthy, sustainable way. So, the next time someone asks for more than you can reasonably give, remember, kindness is most powerful when it has boundaries. Let your generosity be like a river, flowing steadily and purposefully, but always within its banks. By setting limits, you not only protect yourself, you teach others to value and respect the gift of your kindness. Let Jesus' wisdom guide you. Like this video, comment "I love Jesus," and subscribe for more uplifting content. Number 4. Kindness overpowers assertiveness. Imagine a candle placed in the wind. Its flame is gentle, warm, and inviting, but when a gust blows through, the flame flickers, struggling to stay lit. Kindness, when not balanced with assertiveness, can feel like that fragile flame, beautiful but vulnerable. When you prioritize kindness at the expense of speaking up, people may begin to dismiss your opinions, seeing you as agreeable rather than confident. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Kindness without a backbone often goes unnoticed or, worse, disrespected. When you always put others first and shy away from voicing your thoughts, you unintentionally send the message that your opinions don't matter as much as theirs. Over time, this dynamic can lead to frustration, not just for you, but for those around you who may come to see your kindness as passivity. Let me share the story of James, a devoted church volunteer. James was known for his humility and kindness. He never said no to a request and avoided confrontation at all costs. During meetings, he often stayed quiet, nodding along as others shared their ideas, even when he disagreed. Deep down, James had valuable insights, but he chose to stay silent, thinking it was kinder to avoid conflict. But over time, his silence came at a cost. When decisions were made, James felt overlooked and even resentful. Others began to assume he didn't have strong opinions or that he lacked leadership qualities. His kindness, meant to foster peace, had overpowered his assertiveness, leaving his voice unheard. This is where Stoicism offers guidance. Marcus Aurelius teaches, "You must be upright, not kept upright." True strength comes from standing tall on your own, not relying on others to recognize your value. Kindness, when paired with assertiveness, becomes a powerful force, one that commands respect while maintaining harmony. Think of a lighthouse. Its light is steady and welcoming, guiding ships to safety, but its foundation is solid, unshakable, standing firm against the strongest waves. Your kindness should be like that lighthouse, a beacon of warmth but rooted in unwavering self-assurance. Here's how you can balance kindness with assertiveness. Speak up when it matters. Being kind doesn't mean staying silent. Share your thoughts respectfully, even if they challenge the opinions of others. Value your perspective. Remind yourself that your voice is as important as anyone else's. You're not being unkind by expressing your needs or ideas. You're being authentic. Practice calm. Assertiveness. Assertiveness doesn't mean aggression. It means stating your opinions clearly and calmly, showing that you value both yourself and the conversation. Set expectations. Let others know that your kindness doesn't equate to agreement. By doing so, you teach them to respect both your compassion and your boundaries. Epictetus reminds us, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. This means understanding that kindness and assertiveness are not opposites, they're complementary virtues. When you prioritize both, you embody a strength that is kind but firm, gentle yet unyielding. And as Jesus said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. This teaching reminds us that clarity and honesty are acts of kindness in themselves. By confidently stating your position, you not only honor your own truth, but also create healthier, more respectful relationships with others. So the next time you feel the urge to stay silent for the sake of kindness, remember, your voice matters. Let your kindness shine, but let it be supported by a strong foundation of assertiveness. Be like the lighthouse, warm and guiding, yet unshakable in its stance. By doing so, you'll find that your kindness no longer overpowers your assertiveness. It amplifies it. Number 5, kindness can lead to emotional burnout. Imagine a lamp that lights up a dark room. It shines brightly, offering comfort and clarity to everyone around it. But over time, if its oil isn't replenished, the flame dims and eventually goes out. Kindness, when constantly given without reciprocation, works the same way. You can only give so much of yourself before you run out of emotional energy, leaving you burned out and depleted. Here's the truth. Kindness is a gift, but it requires balance. When you pour all your energy into others without taking the time to refill your own cup, you risk losing the very light that makes you who you are. The act of giving becomes exhausting rather than fulfilling, and what once brought you joy starts to feel like a burden. Take the story of Martha, a teacher known for her compassion. She dedicated her life to her students, staying late to help struggling kids, mentoring them during her weekends, and even using her own money to buy supplies for those in need. But as the months passed, Martha started to feel drained. The joy she once felt in teaching faded, replaced by resentment and exhaustion. She realized she was always giving but never receiving, not even taking the time to care for herself. Martha's kindness, though beautiful, had become unsustainable. By constantly putting others first, she had neglected her own well-being, and the result was emotional burnout. She learned a valuable lesson. You cannot truly give to others if you have nothing left to give yourself. This is where Stoicism offers wisdom. Seneca reminds us, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Care for yourself first. Kindness is most powerful when it comes from a place of abundance, not depletion. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you nurture your own emotional energy, you ensure that your kindness is genuine and sustainable rather than forced or draining. Think of a well. If everyone draws water from it without pause, it will eventually run dry. But if the well is cared for and allowed to replenish, it becomes an endless source of nourishment. Your kindness should be like that well, flowing freely, but only after you've taken the time to refill it. Here's how to prevent emotional burnout while practicing kindness. Prioritize self-care. Make time for yourself, whether it's through rest, hobbies, or moments of solitude. When you care for yourself, you replenish the energy you need to care for others. Set limits on giving. Recognize your limits and don't be afraid to say no when you feel stretched too thin. Boundaries protect both your emotional health and the quality of your kindness. Seek balance in relationships. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. Surround yourself with people who give as much as they take, so your kindness is met with appreciation and support. Reflect on your motivations. Ask yourself why you're giving. If it's out of guilt or obligation, it's time to reevaluate. True kindness should feel fulfilling, not draining. As Epictetus teaches, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you wish to be kind, you must first be kind to yourself. By caring for your own needs, you create the foundation to give authentically and sustainably. And as Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This profound teaching reminds us that rest is not a weakness, it's a necessity. To serve others with love and compassion, you must first seek peace and renewal for your own soul. So, the next time you feel your energy waning, remember, you are not a limitless resource. Let your kindness flow, but let it flow from a well that is full. Care for yourself first, and you'll find that your generosity becomes a joy rather than a burden. Like a lamp with a steady supply of oil, your light will shine brightly. not just for others, but for yourself too. Number 6, kindness feeds envy. Imagine a lighthouse standing tall on a cliff, its light shining brightly across the dark sea, guiding lost ships to safety. Most sailors would be grateful for its glow, but there are always some who resent it, those who wish to dim its brilliance because they feel overshadowed. Kindness, much like that light, can provoke envy in those who lack it. Your good nature and generosity, instead of being admired, can spark jealousy in hearts that feel empty or inadequate. Here's the uncomfortable truth: not everyone will celebrate your kindness. To some, your ability to give selflessly becomes a mirror, reflecting their own shortcomings. Instead of inspiring them to grow, it stirs feelings of resentment. Your generosity, which stems from a place of abundance, can highlight the scarcity within them, and envy thrives in that void. Take the story of John, a community leader known for his giving heart. He went out of his way to help others, organizing food drives, supporting struggling families, and lending a hand wherever it was needed. Most people admired and appreciated him, but a few began to whisper behind his back. "He's just doing it for attention," they said. "He thinks he's better than everyone else." John's kindness had unintentionally fed their envy. His light, meant to guide and uplift, became a source of discomfort for those who struggled with their own insecurities. Instead of seeing his actions as noble, they saw them as a reminder of what they weren't doing themselves. This is where Stoicism provides clarity. Epictetus wisely teaches, "Do not shrink your light to comfort the envious." Your kindness is not the problem, their envy is. Dimming your light, holding back your generosity, or changing who you are to accommodate their insecurities is not the solution. Instead, you must let your kindness shine unapologetically, grounded in the knowledge that their envy is a reflection of them, not you. Think of the sun. It shines brightly, nourishing the earth and bringing life to all it touches. Yet some might curse its heat or retreat into the shade to avoid its brilliance. But does the sun stop shining? Number. It remains steadfast, fulfilling its purpose without concern for who welcomes or resents its light. Your kindness should be like the sun, constant, unwavering, and unbothered by the opinions of those who envy it. Here's how to handle envy without compromising your kindness. Stay grounded in your values. Remind yourself why you're kind. Let your generosity come from a place of love and principle, not a desire for approval. Don't internalize their envy. Their jealousy is not your responsibility. You can't control how others perceive your actions, but you can control how you respond. Lead by example. Instead of dimming your light, let it inspire others. Some may envy you, but others will be encouraged to follow your example and grow. Surround yourself with supportive people. Spend time with those who appreciate your kindness and celebrate your generosity, not those who resent it. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Let your actions speak louder than their envy. Continue to be kind, not for their approval, but because it aligns with who you are. And as Jesus said, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Your kindness is your light. Let it shine regardless of how it's received, because it reflects your character and your faith. So the next time your kindness provokes envy, remember, you are not responsible for their insecurities. Stand tall like the lighthouse, shine brightly like the sun, and let your generosity be a testament to your strength, not a reaction to their judgment. By doing so, you honor the true essence of kindness, giving freely without shrinking to comfort the envious. If any of the points resonated with you, be sure to comment, "Thank God I learned it," to share your thoughts and let us know how it connected.